Chapter 4: The Vanishing Trail. Mara didn't sleep that night, not after the eyes in the woods. By morning they were gone. No footprints, no broken branches, just fog, thick as ash, curling like smoke between the trees, hiding everything it touched. She returned to the diner at dawn, searching for something, anything that made sense. Behind the counter, tucked beneath the old cash register, she found it. A small leather-bound journal, the spine cracked and worn soft with use. Inside the front cover was a name, Dale the cook. The last entry was dated 3 days before the town went silent. They've started watching the tree line. Folks are just standing there now, like they're waiting for something to come out. I saw Ali go in last night. He didn't come back. We keep hearing that sound. Like something breathing through water, like teeth on stone. Mara flipped to the final page. One word was written over and over again in shaky, desperate strokes. Run, run, run. She slammed the book shut. That's when she heard it. A low, wet hissing, drawn out, and unnatural sound. It echoed from just beyond the window. She turned in the fog-shrouded trees. Something moved. Huge, sinuous. Black scales shimmered like oil in the moonlight, coiling between the trunks with impossible speed, too fast for anything that size. And just before it vanished into the mist, she saw them. Teeth are long and curved, and then a whisper, not words, just the shape of them. Like breath against the back of her neck, she spun around. Nothing, spun back where she saw them in the mist, and still nothing. Her pulse kicked up. She backed toward her car, but the fog had thickened, swallowing it whole. The shadows shifted where they shouldn't. She just started to run, boots pounding wet asphalt, breath sharp in her chest. Mara made for the sheriff's station. The sign was just barely visible through the gray, hanging askew above the doorway like it had tried to fall but changed its mind. Mara threw the door open, slammed the station door behind her, and locked it. Then, she dragged a chair beneath the handle for good measure. Her breath came in sharp, shallow bursts. She kept one hand on her sidearm, the other pressed flat against the cool surface of the door, as if the wood alone might keep that thing out. Whatever it is, she backed away slowly, boots echoing in the silence. The fog outside wrapped the windows in white, like gauze on an open wound. Nothing beyond it could be seen, but she could still feel it out there, waiting. She took a shaky seat at the desk. The lights overhead buzzed, one flickered. The leather journal is still in her hands. She opened it again, flipped back through the pages, not just the last entries, but the beginning. The cook had started it like a diary, nothing but shipments, weather, gossip of a small-town life. Then came the shift. The mist doesn't burn off anymore. Kids say they see things in the fog. Tall things. Dogs won't go near the tree line. Each entry edged closer to madness, or maybe revelation. She reached for the town records again, digging deeper this time, old maps, old letters, anything that might hint at what she was up against. At the bottom of the box, she found a folder marked in red pencil, unfiled for sheriff only. The paper inside was fragile, almost crumbling, typed in uneven strokes with parts scribbled out and retyped over, but one line stood out. The thing in the woods doesn't just feed. It reminds you, and it takes that memory piece by piece. Mara's pulse spiked. She looked up. The photo wall across from the desk had just shifted. A row of town portraits, mayors, deputies, and local officials had been there. Now, 3 frames were empty, just outlines in the dust. She stared. Tried to remember the faces. She couldn't, not even a glimpse. A coldness spread in her chest. Not fear, it was a loss. Something was already working on her, scraping her away from the inside out. Behind her, the lights buzzed again. Then, pop, one blinked out, another followed. She rose from her chair slowly, eyes locked on the breaker panel across the room. The switches hadn't tripped. The wires were fine, but the light died anyway, like the building itself was being drained. She returned to the desk and swept the rest of the box aside. Underneath it, taped to the bottom of the drawer, was a small iron key with a faded tag. Myth Box East Storage. Her hands trembled. Another light blinked out above her, and from somewhere beyond the fog outside, that hissing sound comes again. Only this time, it was closer.